Hi Transformer fans, it's Evan. I'm here today to walk you guys through the EP1 sample that we just got in of Deathsaurus. Sorry that there's been maybe a little too few updates on this backing, but we have a bunch of stuff in the pipeline that's coming your way, so we're going to be updating you now going forward. But yeah, so here we have our EP1. Again, this means engineering pilot. So this is essentially the first shot of the tools. There is no deco on this guy right now. It is just mold colors, which even then some of these mold colors will be tweaked. And then also some of his joints are very tight. Some of them are very loose. This is why we do this. Going forward, we're going to be making modifications to make sure that it's the best figure that it can be. Right now, this figure in particular likes to show off how well it can limbo. So hopefully as we go through with this video, he'll behave and stay stoic. But actually, you know what? Before we start with him, let's actually start with the smallest members of the team. So Deathsaurus, you're going to hang out over here for a second. Let's get the table in. Just because they're very tiny. So, here we have Holly and Fire that you guys probably got with Victory Saber. And now, of course, I'm happy to show you all. We've got Peepo, and we've got Boater. These guys turned out great. Over there, here they are next to the other rescue team members. There we go. And they all line up, and they look fantastic. So previously we had told you guys, like, these are completely brand new sculpts, and that is 90% true. I think eagle-eyed fans will probably notice, man, those thighs look familiar. And those wheels on Peepo. Yes, so these are a very, very heavy partial of our Power Punch and Direct hit Micromasters that we previously released in, was that Siege, I think? But yeah, it's just using the thighs, the armpit swivels, and like the wheels on Peepo. Like other than that, everything on these guys is brand spanking new. And I think Yuki did a fantastic job with these guys. Transformation is super simple and looks fantastic. Talking about Peepo, in the animation and the original toy, the top of his hood was actually the front of the ambulance, but just due to engineering, we kind of had to swap it, so now it's actually the back of the ambulance as his hood, and then his feet are the front. But super simple. Fold in his feet, shift up his arms, and those will tab right in. And these guys actually came in super tight compared to Deathsaurus. And then rotate, and voila, you got an ambulance. So, we'll be painting this up. It will look fantastic. Now we got Boater. He's a boat. We have so few boats in Transformers, so it's always exciting when we get one. Here we go. Fold in his feet. Like that. And then you have, I'm trying to remember, someone on our team was like, is that supposed to be a shark? And it's like, this is very clearly a boat, but I kind of like that you think it's a shark. It's very shark-esque boat, I guess. But he's very cool. Here they are next to each other. You know what? We're here. Let's just do this real quick so that everybody can see how the vehicle modes all look together. I'm not going to fold out ladders, or Fire's ladder. Collapse your feet, dude. There we go. Alright, Holly, real quick. No, don't you dare. Okay. So yeah, they look good now. It's great that we have the finished rescue team. So yeah, I don't know. I think these are cute, and I know some fans have been waiting for them to kind of get new figures, so I'm glad we were finally able to bring them in to the storytelling of this HasLab, because Deathsaurus has captured them. But now they are complete again. Alright then. I guess let's get on to the main event, right? Okay, welcome back, Deathsaurus. And since you're here, let's do a quick scale check. Obviously, because it's an ongoing joke, you're a siege hound. just to make sure that you guys can see how monstrous this Emperor of Destruction is. But I think the real comparison that everybody's waiting for is right next to Victory Saber. Yeah, so you can kind of see... You can see the height difference a little bit here. Yeah, so the combined form is relatively the same size, I think you can say. Yeah. Which I believe is pretty animation accurate. But he is a menace unto himself. He's not a combined bot or anything like that. He's just a big old dude. Okay. So thank you guys for coming in for the scale check. Let's talk about articulation. And then we can talk about all the various add-ons and weapons after that, because I know everybody wants to see everything. So, we'll start out with his head. Beautiful head sculpt that you can see right here. Can turn side to side, up and down. You can fold Tiger Chest's wings a little bit forward, because Deathsaurus also has butterfly joint. So he can do very dynamic sword poses as well. This also helps when he's aiming the living metal destroying cannon at Victory Saber. Yeah, so that's nice. He's got great ratchets in his shoulder, and his arm also can pop out like that. His kaiju feet that are on the back of his hands right now, a little loose. Those will be tightened. His hands, he's got wrist articulation. Stay closed, will ya? Okay. Wrist articulation, and his fingers open and close. It's always a nice little thing. Helps with expressive dynamic posing. You can pop Tiger Chest's head a little bit out of the way, and then he can get his waist swivel. His skirt flaps do come up. So obviously this is for posing and sitting in his throne and whatnot. So his thighs move up and down. He's got a thigh swivel as well. With his knee, we will be tightening these joints so that he can support himself a little bit better than this EP1 can. And of course, he's also got ankle articulation down on his feet. And of course, wings can go back, forth, and up and down. It's very cool. Flipping around to the back, because I'll transform him here in a moment. Convert, I'm sorry. Flip this up, and that is your access port to the chest animals. So if you just press your finger in there, you can pop out Tiger Chest and Eagle Chest. And then when your finger's not there, it's got a spring. So his chest closes like that, so he's not just left with a hollow hole right there. And let's get the head back down. So yeah, he's got a bunch of little cool features, and I love the chest animals. So let's convert them real quick. Gonna start with you, Eagle Chest, which actually, just to bring up, the assembly that we got is wrong, so we'll be fixing it. They swapped the blasters that are in here, so because of that, he's a little bit bulbous. He's not sitting in his correct rectangular shape at the moment, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that. Let's pop out the wings. Just like that. We'll get the blasters out. Bring up his head, fold down his feet, and then actually let's put this back to act as his chest, and then of course his tail feathers. Flip that out. It's a very cool little eagle chest. Something I don't know if we showed before, his mouth does open. There we go. Caw! Just like that. And his head can turn from side to side, look up and down. It's got a lot of articulation. His feet are on ball joints, but they also have a hinge, so he can, because when you put him on the throne, you can put him in some dynamic poses on the throne as well, because he's got a spot on there. And then, of course, like you can see all the pins where his wings fold and articulate. But yeah, he's just a cool little dude. Just want to hang out up there? Okay. And now we have Tiger Chest. A little bit easier of a transformation. There, I'm just going to fold those out, fold his wings up. Open the back to bring out his tail. I am so happy I don't have to get my screwdriver out just yet for these guys. Convert him into bow and arrow, I absolutely will, because he's got a tight joint there. Gonna bring out his legs. Voila! We've got tiger chest. His mouth opens as well. Ugh, but this one's very tight. I cursed it. Now I gotta get my screwdriver. See what you make me do. There we go. Yeah, ball joint's also a little loose. We're going to be tightening it. Get back on there. There we go. So yeah. Open mouth for dynamic posing. Most of his colors are pretty much here. We will be vac metaling the wings and the crest on the head, as you guys have seen. They are also made to be taken off because we're actually going to pack them out separately, and then you can just plop them on. It's just a 5mm port. That's for, protection, so that the pieces will look good when they get into your homes and whatnot. So yeah, those are those guys. I guess since he's in robot mode, I should probably put these guys in their weapon mode real quick. Alright, eagle chest, yours is pretty easy, because you're essentially back to where we started. Fold in the feet. Essentially, you convert him mostly back to his tape deck chest mode. You get his little handheld blaster mode. You can kind of see how essentially these are swapped in this assembly, so we're going to be fixing the blasters, but 3mm port compatible, and Deathsaurus, if you wouldn't mind. There's a tab in the handle, so there's a slot in Deathsaurus' palm to make it easier for when they attach. Just like that. Close the fist. And he's got a pretty good grip on him. Alright, bow and arrow mode now for tiger chest. I'm gonna set you aside. Please don't fall over. You stand right there. Okay. I am gonna get my screwdriver out for this one. Essentially, you flip over this hinge. Come on. That is very tight on this guy. Ugh, okay, I'm just gonna go this way. There we go. Don't worry, we're gonna make it a little bit looser when we get to the final product. It's just an EP1 issue right now. This tab is essentially what houses the arrow. Gonna flip those out like that. We will be tightening that so it stays on. You guys are just getting all the behind the scenes right now, for ill or not. There we go. Ugh. Don't embarrass me in front of the internet. I'll never recover. I don't know how YouTubers do it. All right. There we go. All right, arrow, where are you? There you are. Arrow. Let's go there. No, actually, I guess There we go. Bow and arrow. So, attachment. He's got 4 tabs right here from where we folded in his feet. Lifting up Deathsaurus' arm. He's got tabs right here on the interior. So they just attach like that, and then they hold in place. And now then you can dynamically pose him to make it seem like he is drawing back the arrow. Trying to think of all the characters that use bow and arrows, and now I'm drawing a blank because I'm just thinking of animated Hot Rod. It's always fantastic when giant robots that mostly use blasters and swords for some reason also use a bow and arrow, but that's fun. But yeah, okay, so let's convert him to kaiju mode. Excuse me, tiger chest. We're gonna go over there for a second. I guess in order to talk about that, I need to bring in the shield tail. So, let's backtrack just for a minute. Essentially, to attach it, you got a port right here that flips out on his shoulder. And then that can just pop into place like that. There, I guess, God, what was wrong with me? I should have done that earlier. So you can do the dynamic shield equip pose for his stock transformation sequence. Pop that off. He's got a handle in here as well, so he can hold it like a traditional shield. But this is obviously an essential part of his transformation because it becomes the tail of the kaiju, of his griffin dragon thing. There we go. There we go. It collapses just like that. Becomes his tail. To the side. All right. Make sure to fold in his ears just like that. Where do we begin? Let's begin with the arms. Arms come down. Bring the wings forward. Bring up his kaiju head. Just like that. Reveal his tiny little dinosaur kaiju arms. They will tab right into place. These parts then swivel just like that and become his chest. A little tight. There we go. Just like that. These will become the front of the kaiju mode legs. You can always tell because of the bar. That's right there. Don't make me get the screwdriver out again. There we go. Oh. Fold in robot mode hands, and you should be able to get these into a 90-degree angle. There we go. Good click. So then you get his kaiju legs, just like that. We'll obviously be painting the toes gold. Oh, did you already tab in? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Feet. is tight. Okay, there we go. Just like that. Oh, actually, you know what? I wasn't supposed to turn the waist around. My bad. There we go. Just like that. Then you can see how these tab right in to kind of lock it all into place. These guys kind of hang out back here. Come on. I know you're an EP1, but if you're gonna make me force it, I'm gonna force it. The internet wants to see. Okay, got his wings. So the only thing that's missing is the tail. Flop out the knees. And then it just... slides in like that. Close the knees to lock it into place. That popped out again. Ah, now I popped that one out. EP1. It's an EP1. We're gonna fix all this. Now we have the evil Emperor of Destruction in his Kaiju Griffin Dragon mode. Make him about as menacing as we can get him. It's a fun monster. Decepticons always have fun monster modes. It's always something I appreciate. Break the norm from the vehicles. Alright, let's get the animals back in there as well. Load you in. Excuse me, tiger chest. There we go. There we go. Now he's complete. Griffin complete. Griffin Dragon complete. So articulation in this mode, here you can kind of see how loose these are. They will not be this loose in the final product, I promise. His toes do articulate. He's got an ankle bend down there as well. His arms go in any and all directions. Oh, come on, tiger chest. Get back in there. Getting too excited. There we go. Mouth open and closes, and he's got a port for a blast effect on the inside. And I think that about covers it for this mode. The only thing I guess we can talk about is the flight stand real quick. Let me get that. All right, the base and flight stand. Off screen, this guy is really, really tight. So once I get it in there, I'm going to have to grab another sample to show the throne in a minute. Actually, yeah, I believe in our instructions we actually show it is easier to attach this part like this. There we go. So then you can get him on the display stand. And do a little bit more dynamic flight poses if you want. Flying through space. You can also just help support him if you wanted him to, I don't know, fight somebody else or something like that. Oh, which actually, I'll talk about the living metal destroying cannon because he can hold it in this mode as well. You can see the tab right here, tab right here. Right now, there is a bit of a fit issue that we're going to be fixing, but he can hold it in both arms because you can see he's got the tabs on both sides, so it doesn't matter what side, but essentially it will tab in like that. Actually, let's get him off the base so that we can show that. Right now. There we go. Right now the tab's a little loose, so that's why I'm holding it in place. We're going to be fixing that fit so he can hold it a lot better. But essentially it will tab in like that so he can use the living metal destroying cannon in his kaiju mode. Just like in the anime. For storage, Yuki-san did make it so that it folds up and compacts quite nicely. It's actually great. Here, we're going to put you right there for a second. I'm actually going to bring in the throne real quick. Every weapon that Deathsaurus comes with can store on the back of the throne. Always appreciate good weapon storage. Oh, sorry, that was my spare eagle chest. As you can see, he tabs in right up there. There we go, back to normal. And then you can even store the shield back here. Oh, come on. There we go. Just like that. Because a true Emperor of Destruction hides every weapon in his arsenal behind his throne. That's why everybody covets it. And actually, let's convert Deathsaurus back real quick so we can show him sitting on the throne, and I think that will pretty much cover everything for the CP1 right now. Oh, I forgot to show the arrow as well. Arrow's got some tabs that go in right there. We didn't really talk about the sword, did we? So yeah, let's get his anime accurate crazy, it's almost like a scimitar. Sword right here. And then his flail, ball and chain. Using the chain from the Masterpiece Megatron. It's always nice. And you get a real chain in there. It's great for posing. But okay, let's convert Deathsaurus back, and then we're going to place him on his throne. Really, Tiger Chest? Alright, fine. You're gonna go in timeout for a second. I'm just gonna put you over there. yeah, we're going to be gearing up pretty soon for another HasLab. It would be great if all you fans commented, I guess, what you're waiting for, what you're looking for our next HasLab to be. Could always use some good feedback there. I think we've found a good formula doing these relatively more obscure Japanese characters, doing the hero and then doing a villain. There's plenty that we can do. But we've got a big anniversary coming up. 40 years. And it only survives thanks to all of you. So thank you all for supporting Transformers for as long as you have. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the folks over at Takara Tomy as well. All right. You hang out there for a second. You seem partially naked without tiger chest. What was the issue before? There we go. All right, sword. It's also got that tab that we were talking about. The flail does as well. I will admit, the only downside to this sword is that it is so much bigger than Victory Sabers. But it is very nice and impressive. Alright, and then let's go to the flail. I need to work on my evil cackle because I feel like that's what's missing as I'm doing this video. But yeah, flail. It can also store in the bucket in the back that is essentially the kaiju head. Some nice little weapon storage. Oh. Get on in there, chain. There we go. So he has easy access to it. And then, of course, the sword as well does store on his back. He's got these tabs here. And if you look, he's got a very interesting design on the back of his sword, and those will line up. So it will sit at an angle like that. Let me see. Let me turn him around gently so it doesn't fall off. So he can be armed and ready for combat. Just like that. Take the chain off. I already took the sword off. Gotta bring these in. He does come with blast effects as well. However, they came in solid blue. They will not be this. They will be clear purple. It's the same blast effects that we included with Victory Saber. It's the Jetfire blast effects. Just gonna set those aside. We're gonna flip his skirt pieces up. You'll notice he's got a cutout right there. Those cutouts are meant for like the little like top feather fin things for his kaiju head. Those will go into place. And that will act as kind of like an anchor to kind of keep him there. Let's get the wings out. Make them as menacing as possible. But yeah, so this is the EP1 of Deathsaurus. We'll be posting more updates as more come along. Thank you for watching the video. I guess comment any of your questions. You can find me on Instagram as well if you wanted to shoot me a question there, and I'll try to answer when I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's say go. Bye.